Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to look at CPI, updated CPI numbers, yay, and try to determine what kind of an effect that's going to have on the market. Are we still on track for a bear market rally, or is this new news going to cause some bad things to happen in the short to medium term? If you like this content, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section. But let's go ahead and dive right on in. What am I looking at on this chart? Well, you've probably seen me talk about this the last couple weeks here, but it has happened. The death cross on the weekly chart has occurred. You can see the yellow line here has crossed over the red line. So the 50-week simple moving average has crossed over the 200-week simple moving average. This has never happened in Bitcoin's history up until just now, just this week. And you can see, as I was talking about this, I started turning a little bit bearish short term. And in general, over the midterm, I am a bull, but this has kind of changed things. And you can see I first started talking about that 2 weeks ago when we printed in a red candle that week and then a red candle the following week. And we're, at least as of today, we're, just a few hours into the week, another red candle, and things are looking kind of bleak. And so where do we go from here? That's the question do we have more pain short term? And to be honest with you, I think we do have a little bit of pain short term, and I will be looking to make some entries in the lower $20,000 range, below $20,500. But honestly, I do believe that it is possible that we could sweep the lows here before a pretty significant move up and a breakthrough that critical $25,000 barrier. And so even if we were to get down to the $16,000 range again, I'm telling you right now, I would be so unbelievably greedy. I would be so bullish, and we would not spend much time down there. But as of right now, in my opinion, I think we're going to head down to this $20,000 range. But okay, I want to throw one thing out there, and that is an article that I read over the weekend that has me a little bit shaky in my confidence that we are seeing some kind of recovery happen economically when it comes to inflation. And so let me go back up to the top of this article here. Bad news. Consumer prices actually climbed in December. That's shocking. I actually am a little surprised by that there was some revisions. And so let's take a look at what this article says. December consumer prices rose from the month before and did not fall as previously thought. And so if you remember from the November CPI report, which came out the December CPI report, which came out in January, the second week of January, we saw some good news. CPI is falling, inflation's falling, but then month over month, what we saw for the December report that came out in January is that there was a decline of 0.1%. Well, we can see the newly calibrated consumer price index shows that prices rose 0.1% on a seasonally adjusted basis in December from November versus a previously estimated decline of 0.1%. And so how big of a deal? That's a 0.2% difference. How big of a deal is it? Well, I will say this. It's not a small deal. It's not a huge deal, but 0.2% has made a difference in the past in my outlook on the crypto market. 0.2% for short term, to me, is a big enough deal that I at least have this on my radar as this could be a problem. But not only that, it's like, all right, are we getting, something's a little fishy here, and are we getting are they trying to pull the wool over our eyes? I'm a skeptic in general of anything government related, but here's something else I really want to point out. The annual revisions that we just talked about also come just days before the release of the January CPI report, which will debut some modifications of its own, changing its weighting methodology from consumption patterns collected every 2 years to a single year of spending data. And so, okay, they've changed how they're calculating the CPI from this point forward. And so what are we going to get tomorrow? And if you're watching this the day after on Valentine's Day, a new CPI report is going to come out for January of 2023. And what are we going to see? I don't know. But what the real question that I want to know is, what would we have seen if the methodology did not change? And so maybe the number that you'll see will be good, another positive, but what are they hiding from us? That's where the skeptic comes in my mind, as somebody who's just very distrustful of anything federal government. What are they hiding from us? So that's the first thought that comes to my mind. And what kind of an effect is that going to have on this so-called recovery that we have? Well, to be completely honest with you, maybe it's a good short-term thing to kind of get things pumping and get things looking like they're good. But I think the end result of this is like, hey, you know what? You can revise the data all you want, but there's also the real world that we live in, and that makes the eventual crash, that will come eventually. It's just going to be that much uglier when that time comes. We all know, I don't think any of you watching this video really believe that that inflation was at 9% when the CPI data peaked at 9.1. I think that most of us would say it's at least 20%. I've seen estimates as much as 40%, but I'm just, there's something fishy about this. There's something that I'm not too excited about when I see that this has been revised and that they're changing the way that they're measuring this. But hey, you know what? We're in ranges. And let me zoom in here and just see what we have going on here with all the ranges. And so you can see we had a weekly close at the current range weekly top, which is right here from the confluence is right there. And we are currently flirting with another range, the monthly range high. And so we're just kind of in this range right here, and level to level, this is where we are. Now, I would think a break through this level, we could see Bitcoin go as low as this previous all-time high level here. But, we do have some support at the bull market support band. And I've always kind of wanted this bear market rally to just kind of ride along the bull market support band instead of just getting too far gone. If we can ride along the bull market support band, it's going to be much more predictable. It's going to be much safer to long, to just, there could be a pattern of just getting in, getting your entries for Bitcoin and for other cryptos as Bitcoin is bouncing off the bull market support band, instead of having this season of, we get too far gone and then we dump, too far gone and dump. We could ride the support band and it be a very predictable and very safe ride higher. But this is the name of the game right now. And when we see that new CPI report, it's going to be very interesting to see how the markets respond. And even seeing CNN Business, this is for stocks, but a 71 greed score, that's pretty wild to me. I think that in general, I am not nearly as greedy as other people. And then something else I'm wondering what's going to happen tomorrow. So I could see a scenario happening where we see a favorable CPI report, and yet the DXY rallies. And that would kind of be, that would communicate to me something along the lines of, all right, yeah, you've done this revised CPI report, but we're not buying it. Inflation is worse than you're actually showing us. And so that's on my radar for tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'm expecting a positive CPI report, but then I want to see what happens to the DXY in the aftermath of that. If we see a rally in the DXY, we see it break through these levels here, break through this resistance. I could draw a diagonal line here, break through that resistance. Let me see if I can get the bull market support and the 20, the certain moving averages here. And let's just see where we are. Yeah, all right, we're not going to come close to that. But if we do see some upward movement in the DXY, then I'm going to be very nervous, to the point where I would say, you know what, this bear market rally is not happening. In my opinion, it might already be over, and we might just have several more months, maybe even the rest of 2023, in misery, right back down to the teens. And I hate to say that because I'm going to be realistic, but this is just what's on my radar right now. I really want to see what happens, not just with the CPI report, but how the market responds. If the market does not respond well, or even if really that's all that matters, if the DXY does not respond well, even especially to a positive report, then we could be in trouble short term. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll see some positive signs moving forward for potential move up to 30,000 for Bitcoin to 42,000. I'm just very cautious right now, and that's all I want to say. That if you're going to take anything away from this video, I am very much uncomfortable in the moment, and all of that could change within 24 hours. All right. So that is all I have for today. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.